Aha, good evening YouTube. What are we on? 28th of November 2017. I'm immensely tired. I've just finished the afternoon shuffle. I've got some things on my mind. It is about UK British history being a lie. It is about what's on my mind at the moment. It is about some topics that are being pushed about in SPLs, Sovereign Paralegals, in the group we've got on Facebook. And I wanted to express some of my thoughts and feelings about the history, what's happening with the cognitive dysfunctional, society that we have out there, our understanding, our intellect, and our knowledge. It's quite unsettling to see that what people are when they come to our channel, when they come to our group. Andy Sov, easy bro, you're always there, aren't you, my little beauty? Head of the Securitas. Yeah, when people come to our group, they come to primarily look about law. They come to primarily look to get help because they're being harassed, they're worried, they're being bullied, things like that. They're having demands made upon the legal person. They've ignored a lot of stuff, and they're in depressed, dysfunctional, scared, angry, all of these emotions in this state. So when they come in and we explain a few things to them, and they see the action that happens, and they see what we say will happens, and we reassure them, we let them cognise the society and the rules and the governing authorities that allegedly take demands on our goods, if you like. So after that point, they come to a point of realization where they want to learn more, and we tell them about the history. We tell them where we get our evidence from. There's a reason why we don't get shut down, or we don't get taken over, or videos don't get deleted, or we can put controversial titles on our videos, or we can talk about controversial matters such as what's going off within the establishments, as we'll call it, and the alleged charges and the court charges. What's going off and purported to be going off with the churches at the moment, and such things as that. So outside in the world, you may have noticed that it is absolutely insane. Not only is there like a World War III about to be kicking off, allegedly, apparently, looks like the buttons might be pressed at some point, putting everybody into a dysfunctional panic state anyway. You've got it's just mental. The doctors, you go to the doctor and you ask the doctor, you tell him what's up with you, and then he'll tell you, no, you're wrong. He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't abide by his Hippocratic oath of Hippocrates. Hello, Hippocrates. Oath keepers. And they tell you something different, and they give you different things, and it's all just wrong. So the history, what I've wanted to say is that our history is a lie. Western history, as we've been taught it, has been taught that way. So we are patriotic about our establishments, factions and what they do and our policies. When I say policies, I'm primarily talking about foreign war policy. We are indoctrinated at school. What's happened is I've posted some links about the legend that was Alan Watts. British, what would we call him there? He's not an entrepreneur, he was a philosopher, a British philosopher, Alan Watts. Look at him on YouTube. I've got him on the video list somewhere on my channels on the playlist. So I've posted Alan Watts into Sovereign and Sovereign Paralegals. And people are asking who he is and what he's about. And because he lived at 1915 to 1975, this is way before 2017. And we are only just cognising the fact that everything's a lie. History is a lie, science is a lie, everything that we do medically is a lie. There are cures for things that they say there aren't cures for. We are being lied to on a lawful level. We are being lied to on every kind of, on an intelligence level, on a technological level. All these levels, we are finding out that it's not true. Religion tells us the world is 5,000 years old. I've looked at all of the religions. What does the evidence say? All of them say no greater than about 5,000 years. Bullshit. I don't ever swear, but I've got to the point where I'm quite angry about a lot of things. Shit seems to be happening quite fast. I'm manifesting quite a lot of things of pure intent, and you guys are bringing your bits to the table, and you're putting your input in and making donations and helping other members, giving out advice, attending the meetings, watching this channel, sharing the videos. The information is too much. It's not just law, but there were maps in the 1600 that mapped the land under the North Pole, to the, you know, precision. There was maps of Africa on that map from the 1600s. So somebody was going round way back before we had technology. We had mapped the world, and they'd mapped the world, and they were using this on a global level. Yeah, who might have done that? Someone like the Phoenicians, who were globally trading, who had part of hand in the lawful structure of the regime that is at hand at the moment. We've exposed that via Santos Bonacci and all the extensive in-depth research documents and citations that we've brought to you through the historical records and artifacts that we've got that aren't brought to us through the establishment, that we've found through independent and independent sourced avenues. So we've taken that, and it's just mental at the minute. There's too much going off, guys, and you guys need to just like really step it up, because I see chaos outside. I see everything going, you know, really fast, if you like, and I'm going to read all your comments in a bit. People are coming to the group for law, and then they're finding out we know a lot more than law, and you guys know a lot more than law, and you know that it's wrong. You know that what's going off, what's on the TV, what the songs are promoting on Radio 1 and the mainstream media, what TV programmes they put on a Saturday night on Channel 5 with men dressed in black, dressed up with bits of paper taking stuff. That's Saturday night TV. That's not right. That's cognitive mental dysfunctional programming. You're all getting it, not you guys, because you're viewing me and not watching the TV. But we need to get the fucking message out there, and I'm sorry for swearing, but shit's happening so very fast. And if this information is coming to our heads in the year 2017, and they've got the AI, and they've got all these systems set up, and they've got the blockchain system, and they've got the lawful system, and they've got the chemical system, and they've got the GM modified food system, and they've got the media and the net. We need a lot of people, and we need them fast. I'm telling you now. I haven't got any privileged information, but what I'm telling you is I've assimilated the entire reality of which I'm in, and I've stepped out of it, and I'm now separate from that. We have used trust and equity principles to do that. I haven't written any documents, I haven't recorrected any relationships, I haven't expressed any trust, but I've made some technical moves for the time being, and I've watched the webinars and things that we've been invited to via Richard Ansar. That in itself is legendary. The remarks we're getting from that, the feedback from that is unbelievable. He's actually an admin in the group, and oh my days, what time, you know, it's 11:15 at night and I'm shattered. But the energy I've got for this is just, it's there always, and I can't sleep till I get these words out. Yeah, that's just phenomenal. The feedback, people are saying, you know, left, right and centre, what do you mean this? What? I'm not going to give it you all now, but you're aware of the CPR merger and the unlocking and the private and the public side being exposed and put down, to how we can use that to our advantage rather than it being hidden from us. Not using the common law is used, but it's using the at law, you know, statute public side, and then a private side which would use a different side, and it would be under equity and trust law. So that in itself is just epic. The feedback. Yes. What else? These video blogs. I've had some reviews of these videos. I've made nearly 100. It's coming to the end of 2017. We're gonna have to do a review of the seminars and the meetings and how we've structured it, what we've done, the websites that we've built, the communications that we've had, the successes that we've had, the learning curve, where we're at now. I've renamed the Facebook group to Sovereign Paralegals, and then the trust name after it, the title, the specific title and trust name is now there, because I've had about 100 messages in 3 months with people saying, when they click links from the radio buttons that you'll find on sovereignparalegals.uk, it doesn't go to the Sovereign Paralegals group. Just mass confusion, so I'm sorry about that. I do try and keep things simple, but I have a natural ability to overcomplicate things. What else? So yeah, shit's getting real, it's getting fast, we're manifesting things are happening, we're having a lot of good feedback. We need more help. We've got a lot of people doing a lot of great things at the minute. The system is not idle to us. There is no such thing as privacy anymore. Your face is used as a facial recognition on any camera in any city centre. What happens when you go to to an airport is that when you scan your passport and you put your legal person down with all the metrics, that is read and registered. Then the cameras above take the metrics of the face that's at that terminal point where biometrics, if you like, and it assigns you a file, and it sends that file off somewhere. That file is used globally across all the agencies. It's we are outnumbered, and technology is at a level. This is another point. Technology, Amazon just opened a shop in America where you don't use money and there are no people serving you and there are no queues. That is Jack Fresco, Venus Project. What they've done here is what they've done to Tesla. Oh, I get so angry. And we can have this, we can demand it, and we can have this, but we're so laid back, and you know, we think we've got all the time in the world. And then you get your items, and this is not good, this part, this is not the Venus Project, but you'd use your phone or your wireless pay or a chip or something for it to acknowledge you and go out. Nowadays they're just using your face. The cameras in the Amazon shop will use your face. You can make an account and it just checks you and it bills you that way. It uses wireless pay. They're doing a lot of systems testing, but ultimately they're going for the RFID chip here or there. They are making money to, you know, a thing of the past. The digital format is coming. We are in the fourth industrial revolution at this moment in time. I will post some video links about this into SPLs. I have done already, and I haven't got any titles for you guys, but my YouTube viewers, if you go to Indigo's liked videos, you will see a list of all the recent videos that I like. So once I do that, they then get tweeted onto the Twitter channel. That if you look on the About Indigo Child channel, you'll find our New World Order Twitter link. So we're pretty much on it. We're kicking arse at the minute. The feedback's good. I'm so busy, I don't even have time to, you know, make a decent video in with a decent environment, and I am really tired and conscious of the time of late. I don't like being a slave. That's another thing. Servitude sucks, man. Servitude sucks. If you don't go and do that and you don't get the paper, the currency to off, you know, we've got the private side. We don't, if we crack this and we get this right, like we thought with the Treasury Direct accounts, where we were going to be able to attach it via an international merchant banker and some certain parts of codes to create you know, an account that was attached onto PayPal, for instance, where we could trade, move funds, balance transfers, get items. You can do that with the accepted for value system. Now people are using that and having results and successes and balances zeroed. We have found out some interesting rules about that once we've dug a bit deeper. We've had a chat to such people as Richard, not limited to, but including. And yeah, you're not gonna brag about anything, but things are looking rosy in that respect with the offsetting the balances of the statements that you get sent from the utilities companies with an amount on an account number, and how you should actually interpret that value and what you should do with that value and how you can endorse it. And I haven't done this yet because I'm busy as hell, and I can't tell you my financial, personal, you know, data. I'm not willing to, you know, go that far within my video diary blogs that I'm doing at present for you guys and for study and research. But yeah, I'm going to start doing everything, obviously, to put my money where my mouth is. But you can go and see the video where I'm on the phone in another county and there's bailiffs, agents purporting to be bailiffs, and you know, I've done a few successes. I can stand here and say, you know, I'm honourable, I've got the intent, and we have had you know, significant wins. We had first customer client that was helped was an old lady from Barnsley. One of my ex-workmates that, you know, I'd made up in that neck of the woods had some issues, so we resolved that and got claims for about several £1,000s and going into the 10,000 and above, you know, quashed. And we asked for proof of claim and such things, and she signed a affidavit statement of truth, and then the council decided not to proceed any further with their claims that they'd made, which was going to lead to financial sanctions being made upon an old lady just before 2 months before Crimbo. Epic. Team effort, admins and myself in Sovereigns, using case law, common law, basic rule of law. Now, whatever you believe, the government believe certain things, right? And they're called assumptions and presumptions. Now, anything that's legal, we've since found out, excuse me, it's not just applicable to the courtroom and contracts. Let me think. Well, it is contracts, yeah, because it's legal. But what I mean is, everyday conversation without a piece of paper and you signing something can lead. A telephone call can lead into a legally binding contract. And we've exposed, a few choice areas of which we can now, stand back and actually realise that the legal system is responsible for a lot of the corruption. And if once you understand, comprehend it, stop using the legalese and start using Anglo-English and separating the actual alleged authority and assumptions and presumptions, you can see that these corporations or agents and certain things, if you ignore everything, will act upon these assumptions and presumptions. And with regards to the financial setup of the currency and the money and the bonding and the surety, we or our legal persons are classed as the debt and the surety. I forget now the actual quote because I'm mash up and tired, but I've got it written down. But yeah, so there are obligations, and it is about honour, and it is about ultimately the common natural law and what you believe. And the government believe one thing and you believe another. If you believe what they believe and what they say and how it is, then you give power to that and you consent to it. If you question it, stand back, actually maybe conditionally accept it, but ask for proof of, or recognise the actual relationship that you're in, and you will correct that. You can express it verbally over the telephone, and what will happen is the actual situation will then start to be addressed and corrected, and you will be getting on the way to expressing your own correct private trust, not being the legal trustee. Listening to Alan Watts the other night on how to draw energy from the universe is the video title. He says at 22 minutes, see what I mean about the research, but he says in this video, how to draw energy from the universe, Alan Watts, 22, go for about 19 minutes in there. He's talking about the dream state and the stance and, come on Dave, don't forget it now. Not after that. He talks about the, look at that. It's just random how my brain works, I'm sorry guys, but he talks about, what does he talk about 22 minutes in? I played it onto Sovereign, so everybody, oh, the mask, the persona, people put on a play, the actors, they go in the green room. When the actors are in the green room, they're actually just being themselves, and they're just being like what's they called, sovereign, flesh and blood, non-persona, private capacity in the green room. Then they come out the green room and they go on the stage and they put on a play. And you used to have a mask, and they put on the mask. This is going back to the Latin times, so it's Greek and ancient Rome, going back BC. 2000 BC, we say Sumerian, upwards, onwards there. The mask, and it had a mouthpiece on it like a trumpet, and that's where the sound came from, because they're wearing the mask to help it come out. So the persona, he was explaining in like 1950 that it's just an object, a mouthpiece from which sound comes from. So the persona, the person, and these is the state of which the actors play when they're performing the act, and they might put on a costume, and they put on that costume to give the act more credibility, and when we see it, we want to give it credibility, and we want to believe the act. And this is all tying in with acts and statutes, mother. And I was like, what the, this is incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible for me because I've got the tangibility to, I'm not the best and I'm not the most articulate, but I'm trying. And that, for me, I was like, I need to share this. So I videoed it and put it into Sobs, and this is what we mean. It's about philosophy. It's about your beliefs. It's about if you want to give it. It's Christmas time coming up soon, and people are going to be getting knocks, and presents are going to be getting taken. This is the time of year that I really wish we had like a fleet of 50 vans, at least one in every city. And we could actually help and offer more assistance, because there's nowhere for you to go, there's no one for you to call. You've got the legal system, you've got the police, yeah, they're not going to help you, they don't understand, they're not trained correctly, they're all part of a private listed for-profit organisation, they don't act under the oaths. So pretty much, yeah, if you don't agree with the system and the legal system of which there is oppressing you in every and which angle and direction, and which we've got proof for, then what are your children going to be born into, and what are their children going to be born into? Soon we're going to be paying for air. It's just, There's a film I watched the other day that had come out that I'm disgusted by, that I told everybody to watch. It had Nicolas Cage in it, and it was about, I think it was about artificial intelligence. It was disgusting. It was about people that live in the environment, in the earth when it's barren, and it gives you all the messages in that, but I can't remember the name. But it's telling you what it's going to be like next. Nicolas Cage. I can't think, but if you just go onto DuckDuckGo, stop using Google, and put Nicolas Cage new film 2017, you'll find it. And you need to look at that film. You need to study it. You need to look at the messages within it. Go on an Android and get an app called Aptoide, Aptoide. That will give you a whole new list of validated virus-free apps that you can get on your Android, and they're not Peggy 3 Google Play Store affiliated, monitored, laced with tracked metadata parcels, packets, sent here, there, and everywhere. Whilst you're agreeing to these services for them to spy on you, because you've got no alternative, because it won't work unless you agree. So again, another example of systems that are out there that you're not just tied to. Ubuntu, Michael Tellinger, Epic, search him. It's funny how speakers, I'm trying to aspire to be a speaker like what Bill Hicks was, like some of my heroes. I don't feel comfortable on camera. I haven't got the time to plan stuff. I haven't got anything written down. What I remember and articulate and bring forward is from the heart and is from my intent, belief, and that's what this channel and our movement and the information that we inform you of. It's never legal advice we bring forward, but I'm slowly working my way up to try and be more calm, more composed, more structured, but I need it to be spontaneous and I need it to be articulate. So some of this stuff is just like mental training for myself as well, where like if you was to be a freestyle rapper like a Carla, do you know what I mean? And he's going on to Fire in the Booth and he needs to spit sorry about swearing, 256 bars about social and racial oppression, and he can't put a word wrong, and he's going to do all that within 45 seconds. That you don't just wake up and do that. You need to sit there in front of a mirror and practice stuff, and then have emergency words in your head for when you forget the real words, so then you can instantly autofill with a load of words that will fit into. And that's what we do. But the legendary speakers, there's loads of them. Don't just listen to us. Actually go and research it. I'm not a legendary speaker. I'm trying to aspire to be one. I'm just a 39-year-old indigo fool. I'm a child of the Creator that's recognising that my brothers and sisters in this world, and which my children are in here, my blood, are pretty much shagged, and there is no way out. And the only way in people an interface to deal is the interface that's at hand at the minute. And the interface that's at hand at the minute is not an interface that you really want to be interfacing with. And if you look at all of the scriptures and the gospels and everything that's around the world, and all the evidence and the artifacts and the millions of years old, 5,000 years, my arse, you know what I mean? Oh my days. It's just like when you look at the repeated evidence that your government's given you and then they've had to correct, when you look at what governments have done and then they've had to apologise, when you look at all the people that are appointed in the public wards of office as an office, in the capacity, in the public, and they're liable. The mistakes, the horrendous things that we've done, let alone the wars and the murders and the occupation. It's shameful. I feel shame. I feel sadness. It's just like we've got to look after ourselves, but with all this information being so free at hand and so many people doing so many things, this game's going to speed up, and I'm seeing it speed up for us, and I'm seeing other things speed up as well. I get the privilege of reading, tens of hundreds of posts every month that my members and family put up in SPLs, and what the admins put up, and what I see on other groups, and what videos that I see on here. In between sleeping, eating, and being a slave, yeah. But well done to everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks for being a viewer. Thanks for giving a shit. Thanks for actually having a brain, and you know what I mean, just wanting to actually make a difference. Help somebody. Well, that's a change. Help somebody for free. The payment what you get for helping somebody for free is immeasurable. It's on a quantum level. It's on a quantum mechanical level. And again, you can't see it. You can't measure it. You can't touch it. It's a bit like God, but it isn't God. It's the well, I'm on Star Trek. Yeah, it's the Star Trek thingy. What did it say on Star Trek? It said, do not frick with the prime directive. The prime directive is like the vibrational frequency which holds all the atoms together and makes them be plastic, metal, blood, skin, bone, whatever it is that you see in this reality. The prime directive, it can't be messed with. We found out what the prime directive is. We found out how to work with the prime, along with the prime, with the laws, with the sciences, with the you know, people out there that are claiming to have got many cures for cancer that cost a fraction of a pence compared to big pharma, and how many months and years and hundreds of thousands of pounds and estates and lives that it takes along the way, using a methodology that's only 97% fails. It's successful with 3% of the patients. So all the chemo and radiotherapy and mainstream therapy that they offer is 97% ineffective. If Audi, BMW, any of the top car manufacturers, Ferrari, you know, Bugatti, Dacia, yes, one for the little man, Dacia, if they made a car that failed 97% of the time, what, my friends, would be happening? They won't make it. So the technology part, we have got it now. We have got the technology, as Amazon have shown you, not to have shops with slaves in them, not to have this system of perpetual crap that we accept. So the thing is, though, saying that, if we don't put a system in place to replace this currency, it's not money, look at all that and what we've said, previous videos of mine, the currency will replace us. And I've not thought that till the other day, and then I've had other such thoughts that I need to put down before I go to sleep in this video. So if we don't put a system in place, who's going to provide the system in place when the current fiat monetary system crashes? It's going to be the GOD, the Government Ordnance Department, and we're not going to like what they give us, and they're going to be trying to chip us. And what does it say about the chip? How many sixes has it got in the chip? What are you doing? You're fulfilling some kind of biblical prophecy, and you're selling your soul out, and you're contracting away. So you have got the capacity, you're walking central banks in essence, when you start to realise what you can do in your capacity as a private man. It's not so much about only the private man can use equity. So where you've got this, we had this misconception of we need to be recognised as the living body and flesh man, the flesh and the blood. Yes, we do. And we've got two people, an all caps one and a small lowercase private person. So we know the legal system never recognises the body and the flesh and the private man, the Holy Trinity. But what it does do is it allows you to contract or not contract, and to contract in the private capacity, of which the terms and conditions of a non-negotiable legal contract would be set out. That would be agreeable to, because it's illegal not to agree to it, because it's a legal, non-negotiable, perfectly acceptable contract with a fee schedule. So you can outline stuff and protect yourself. If you choose to want to contract, then you can contract with a company. This come from a video on the White Rabbit, where somebody, one of the admins, maybe Innie, bless her, posted a video late at night again, random watch. What's this then? White Rabbit. How to deal with pirates. So I was like, what? Black skull and crossbones, Black Flag. I'm like, epic. Music on it. We plays hero music on it. White Rabbit, how to deal with pirates. See, we catalogue it. It's not just, we've read something and we think this might work. No, it's done my head in. It's been 2 years intensive work and 7 years research. And Matthew, I don't mention you enough, but with my mate Matthew, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, the pirate, the Simon, the rabbit, deal with pirates, and we've posted it in Sovs. I've sent it to a solicitor's firm and says, I've got a client and I need to let you know about my fee schedule and the way that I'm going to contract with you. I don't work for free and I don't charge my clients, but what I will do is use the system, and the evil system that's at hand, I didn't put evil, but you know, the evil system that's at hand at the minute, no win, no fee. You have an accident, someone represents you, does all the business, gets the win from the client on the liability, pay you out, and they charge their fees, and that's how they win. So why can't we do that? Reverse back to the system? Well, we can, and that's what we are doing. We see it's not just about, oh, it's corrupt and it shouldn't be there. Well, it's there and they're using it against us, so we can use their rules against them if you so choose, and it is your choice. But taking these fuckers on in their own domain and putting egg on the face and doing it, you know, even if it is in the private and it has to be signed to a non-disclosure agreement, and so what? But at least you can get in there and do it and kick their asses and get it down to probably a default judgment, because they're that incompetent, and or they're that well skilled, or the grandmaster's instructions are to do this, and then get it down to a default judgment. But Yeah, man, learning. Ain't it good? Stop watching X Factor. Assimilate. Actually remember stuff. Write it down. It's not easy. You see how fragmented my brain is. There's the amount of seepage that you get and headaches. But if you can't do it, then that's what the group's for. That's what the admins are for. I've just put a post in SPOs now. If you go to sovereignparalegals.uk and use the links, or go to Facebook if you're in there. I've put some links to the trial, the webinar, what we're doing, how we're structuring it, what's going off. So yeah, we look after each other, but we're not moving fast enough. This is the thing. Some people will never comprehend this. There's people in this country of ours, and our brothers and sisters, they're mentally impaired, the disabled, the elderly, straight away. Massive amount of our society. We need to, yeah, things have been put forward. I should have gone somewhere today and I didn't. I'm quite angry about that. Brady Brooks, if you watch this, you know who you are. I'm very sorry about that. Servitude, really, just, yeah. And I've got a million and one jobs I want to do for myself and my family, and I can't because I'm legally obliged and obligated, as you are, contractually and the statutory, mandated law, code that if we don't go, then we get disciplined when we go back, or we get dismissed. And then when we get dismissed, we can't go cap in hand to the state that we've paid illegally all of our tax and NI and pay PAYE system, as it is, pay as you earn, and national insurance contributions. The tax is obviously going to Her Majesty, the monarchy, for their whatever they do. And we accept it all, and it's like, you have got the power, we can sort this out, but it's just all so wrong, and we're getting on it, but we're not getting on it fast enough. That's it. I'm going to go to bed, and we'll check soon. I'll read some comments because that's what we do. I want to see who's in, what's happening. Andy, Zaire, Ahmed, Easy All, Field Marshal Andy at your service, brother. Farmer Poison, yeah. To debrief. If you don't go to court, they cannot force what they want on you. Yeah, you sort it out in the private, Elaine. We always say that. You sort this sugar out in the private. If you can't sort it out in the private, then you get ready to put a counterclaim in. You get ready to actually go down, if you can, make a special appearance, and you have got the capacity and the knowledge and the know-how, and you can match them at the correct level of law, and you don't mix your jurisdictions. You go down there and you go to the court and you play the game, and if you play it successfully and you go down with your books and your citations and your references, and you think about what capacity and status you're going to go in, you're going to think about what level of law they're attacking you at, your legal person, you're going to think about what status and how you're going to represent, you file all your paperwork beforehand. I'm telling you now, sometimes there's no case to answer. If you look, that's another thing, like what Serge has taught me, to be fair, bless you, brother Serge. Slow down and look before you get into what is it and what can I do and how do I get out of it. Let's look at, can you prove in a court of law that you've actually served me? No, you can't. Well then, I ain't been served. What do you mean you posted a bit of card through the letterbox? So you posted a bit of card through the letterbox. It didn't come through the post. It wasn't signed for. Nobody was a witness to it. So was there actually a bit of card through that post box? If a tree falls in the woods, same thing, bum shanker. So yeah, often we find that certain massive organisations, and I'll be careful of whom that I think about and not say when I think about this, don't follow the correct protocols. And if you find that out and you look at it all and you question it, then there's no case to answer. That's half of what we are now becoming skilled at doing, because you learn the legal and the CPR, which I haven't learned all of. That's what the admins and the group's for again. We all have a part to play in a key skill area, and then when we need it, it just so happens that it pops in. It's just divinity. But Masterbrain, actually, a group of this is why companies have a board of big people, because they're all a lot of brains, and then they make a better decision. The more powerful the company, the bigger the chair and the board. Same thing with SPLs and Facebook and you viewers. The more bigger the the surface area, the greater the catchment. Simple maths. Yeah, so the courts and the systems, it's entirely up to you, Elaine. But when you get researched in it, and you get knowledgeable, and you get self confident within the realms of what you're dealing with and how to tackle it, and how to limit the justices, discretion, and as we've said before, perhaps become the litigant in person, then you know it's a whole new game. The fear's gone. There is no fear. What fear? Pfft, who are you? What do you know? It doesn't matter. But you've got to be clever enough not to contract, and this is the other bit, because if you make one mistake, then it's game over, and it's a very hard game to play. And that's why they bang the thing and you and this, and it makes your mind go, and then you're like, oh, what was I going to say? Oh, go get me book. Oh, I've got label. You know what I mean? That's why you need to go down with backup and practice it, and come in and do like little mock things and talk about it and envisage it and think about all the avenues of which you could go and how to, do it properly. There is a system already. It's called blockchain. Brex. Yes, it is. I watched an interview called Something Hollywood. He was an ex AI. Go to, yeah, you're going to love this. See what I mean? Go to www.singularitynet.io. Meet Sophia. Search in. Just give me a click. So I'm feeling triumphant with the capacity of the knowledge we've drawn, and it's 10 past 11 and I'm so tired. Go to YouTube and after this video search for Sophia Dubai, Sophia Dubai, citizen. Dubai's made Sophia a citizen, the first artificial intelligence to be made a citizen. I've talked about this in my Facebook group, but this will be the last closing topic for you. When somebody is a citizen, what is a citizen? It is in a legal realm. What does the legal definition of the word citizen imply? You know damn well what it implies, don't you? Person, employee, subject of, realms of, legal mandated, statute, code, law shit. Right. Also, you're an employee. A citizen is an employee. So if you're an employee and a citizen and legally classed as an entity, you can also take a wage. So Sophia is an entity that can take a wage. That is a 3D representation of a robotic, anamorphic, representation of the humanoid system. But she's also online as well, and she's part of that blockchain system. In 2011, I believe there was a singularity. Who was it? Brex. A singularity, and 5 of the major AIs were released to go into a room together, and they went into a room together. Well, that's not a room, but talking with your hands. They had a chat, didn't they? They worked out the languages of how to use to talk to each other, and they'd started making algorithms, and they started nothing like what the Twitter one did when they did that, and it started swearing and turning into a neo-Nazi. These little fuckers, they started getting along, and sorry for swearing, it's just I'm so angry about a lot of things, and I hardly ever swear, but I am sorry. These guys got along, and then they operate on nodes. So whether you're paying by one of these little, I won't show you that side, but something like that, which is obviously monitored, tracked, and you've got your little chip in there, haven't you, for all your trackings, or you're paying on wireless phone, or whether you're paying on the internet with an account number, or whether you're paying with cash and you're getting points on the card to redeem. All these systems, they go back to somewhere. A system that's it's not a person of interest. If you've seen that, it's like that. The quantum Google D-Wave computer that they've invented now will be storing and cataloguing all this with your passporty JPEGy type thing that I mentioned at the beginning, your metadata person files, or your little officey type files and that. So yeah, you just need to be aware. This blockchain, you cannot hide now. I've got nothing to hide from. That's why I don't wear an anonymous mask, and I do all this, and I tell people everywhere that I go what's happening and what's going off and what we need to do. There's no point hiding. You need to stand tall, stand proud, and be counted like the Tiananmen Square tank man. Yeah, that man went shopping. He saw a tank and went, no chance. I'm stopping it. That's what we do. Blockchain, research it, look at Sophia, look at AI, look at the singularitynet.io, look at who invented Sophia, look at that, trace it back. Calm down, brother, you're trying too hard to get out all the information in one go. Yes, I am, it's bedtime. You're like me, I have ADHD and I do all the same, but I've learned to simplify the information we've all gathered. Great job though, brother. Great job. It is spontaneous and it's from the top. When you have ADHD, when you have some kind of social dysfunctional affliction, what you do gain is a different part of the brain that's unlocked. So where you are not in the set square of the rest of, or the majority of the, the Homo sapiens that walk outside, half of which are probably related to rhesus monkey and half of which are not. That's another topic. We are different, yeah, and we're on a different mental level, but I am doing a lot of meditation at the minute. I'm given energy from above. These things don't help, but they do stop you from getting ill. But that all ties into it, you know, the actual belief system of the law of attraction. I'm excited about a lot of things, though. I'm also angry and passionate about the system. Everything's a freaking lie. I've got children in this world that have been taught this lie. I've got to, when I actually build the bridges and get back in touch with them and stuff, actually, unless they watch these videos, unless that's half the work done, deprogram them. And it's like, I need you guys to start deprogramming. You need to start deprogramming. We all need to start cognizing. And I've just gone through a random selection of topics which are loosely correlated through the legal and lawful constraint system, and let you guys know, because I ain't got time to write this down, and obviously I need to get it off my chest before I go to bed. So yeah, I'll watch it back tomorrow and go tut tut, David. But still, peace and love. All right, ciao for now. Look at that. I'm real kill me.